Hey, listen. We can be looking at the same thing, but we see it differently. The shit that's right for you may not be shit that's right for me. We got difference of opinion. I don't mean we got a beef. We can be men, shake hands, and agree to disagree. We see the same thing, but we see it differently. The shit that's right for you may not be shit that's right for me. We got difference of opinion.
What up? It's your boy, T. Mitch, my co-host.
Your man of action, brother Ray Jackson.
This motherfucker.
All
right, so we left y'all, during the whole holiday season, so everybody's good. Hope everybody bring the new year positive and whatever bullshit. We left in 2023. It doesn't follow us in 2024. Now, with that being said, some bullshit that already happened and a couple of motherfuckers trending. That be Cat Money Mike Williams. And we're going to get into this Donald Epstein shit. They name dropping. So with that being said, which one you want to start with? Epstein or Cat?
Man, that we start with Epstein because I think Cat is going to be a little drawn out. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a lot of commentary behind that. And as far as my history about Epstein, I knew he was a powerful man. I knew he had money. And when I remember seeing the document series about him and his conviction and whatnot, seeing what he was doing to these young women and having powerful people come by and having their way with these women. Of course, this is something that's always going on. Like, this is something that's not new, but somebody got caught. So that's pretty much the problem. So now, just like a Puffy situation, trying to clean up the mess, but it's too many worms. You can't scrape them all back in the barrel. And so that's pretty much what the situation is. Now, there's some powerful people that I can imagine who paid good money for that list not to be said. Because they probably feel like they're in that list. You know what I'm saying? So so that's the reason why, because you think this case, that case was like 2019-ish? It wasn't that long ago. It was maybe right before the pandemic. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you think about how long the court's been having, like, the Fed's been pretty much had that list for a long time.
This is my opinion. I'm a conspiracy theorist. My thing, they went to that motherfucker too vanilla. Like, get that name out of there. Get that name out of there. Because my thing is, why wait for so long? You don't have to say anything about the victims if they don't want to be named. I get that. And a lot of them were minors. So with that being said, just try to name the other people. You got politicians, entertainers, fucking clergymen and women, and you got fucking royal dignitaries and shit from the royal family. So I'm not surprised at all. They saying like Clinton, we all know Clinton's a freak. You know what I'm saying? We know that. Yeah. And they talking about, we saw Donald Trump and he ain't did that. Donald Trump got fucking all types of rape allegations against his ass and shit. So, I mean, bro, that all that shit, to me, they never said anything we don't know. That's my thing. Like, the shit you're saying, like, you're not saying somebody did something. And I really believe that people of power went in there and was like, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that, don't say that.
I thought it was like the other way. I felt like somebody was paying them off to pacify them, to say, okay, no, hold off a little bit because we need to get some more stuff to kind of like go against that defense so they can not open it up in the first place. It's almost like the same thing with Kwame Kilpatrick when he had his text messages. Remember how long it took for them text messages to come out because they've been paying money to try to prolong it.
Hold on. The case of Kwame, let's back up, you know what I'm saying? The case of Kwame, after he paid the cop off, it was supposed to be sealed. Those text messages was not supposed to go out. Actually, the lawyer for the cop turned those text messages over. They actually should have been technically disbarred. And when they released those text messages, that's how the public saw it. Those text messages was never supposed to see the light of day. And, it ultimately, kind of like cost my man his career and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
right, on Epstein's side of it, because There's some people that's not prosecuted yet. There's nobody in the loophole, so nobody's told on nobody. So I feel like what's supposed to happen, they're supposed to have their investigation be done prior to say, okay, let's check on such and such. Let me check on this person, see if anybody seen anything. Right now, they just want to put everybody on blast because ain't nobody saying nothing.
You still got his partner, that lady. So my thing is, what has she said? She don't know what she said. She's lied. You know, I'm pretty sure they got her own suicide watch. And my thing is, they said Donald Sterling killed him. And has anybody seen the body? For all we know, they could have whisked that motherfucker away. He on his island fucking young kids. Allegedly. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But for all we know, I mean, nobody's seen the body. You know what I'm saying? They said, oh, he hung himself. So you mean tell me this motherfucker hung himself? So when I know when motherfuckers go to jail, they take type of object that you can use to harm yourself away from you. And this is a high-profile case. You ain't had no cameras on this motherfucker. You ain't had nobody watch this motherfucker.
Right.
I find it hard to believe. I do. I never heard seen anybody say, you know, and at this point, I don't think there's nobody that's credible. I think all the motherfuckers in bed, from politicians to religious figures, all the motherfuckers. Everybody know I ain't praying. I always say that.
I feel like there's an alliance, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to different squads. And we'll segue into that when we start talking about Cat. But, you know, this kind of close off with the Epstein issue. And this is what I feel in my heart because, like, since it took so long for them names to come out, you know what I'm saying, it's like some real powerful people that's going to be put on blast. And I feel like some people are, you know what I'm saying, counting their, you know what I'm saying, their numbers up. They just counting down the days until it actually happened, which is supposed to have been happening Wednesday. So I haven't heard anything, like, and nothing came up on my feed. Like, so I'm thinking like, okay, I'm thinking that somebody paid off the people that's on Wednesday to say, hey, they go you $1 million, put that in your pocket, and let's hold off a little bit. I don't know what them conversations
We said a couple of those documents is blacked out because they don't want to reveal this name or that name. All the names I believe is probably blacked out ain't victims. That's just how I feel. And shit, let's be real. I mean, let's say they ain't that much different than me. I'm just saying, everything ain't. It's parties wild. Man on man, girl on girl. Shit, they ever decide, like, hey, let's drop some names. He should be worried too. Motherfucker, you can't pay off every damn body.
Yeah, but, you know, there are legit prostitute rings that powerful people stay in touch with. So when they want to arrange for different women to be at those events, you know what I'm saying, everybody can get dirty, everybody can get down, and it's not so much as a problem, you know what I'm saying, when it comes from outside, because before you go to the door, I'm pretty sure NDA is right there at the door.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what happens in this room stays in this room.
I mean, and it's kind of like, I had a conversation with some guys last week. And this kind of like ties into the whole Epstein, Diddy, and kind of like what Cat Williams was alluding to when it comes down to Hollywood. And do you remember when Monique was on Steve Harvey and he was on this show and he was like, you know, she was like, you know, you motherfuckers, I did nothing wrong, but none of y'all publicly came out and defended me. Y'all was all on the phone like, yeah, Mo, you. And Steve was like, yeah, Mo, you can't do that to these people. These other people, they pay us good, sound like a damn slave. They pay us good money. You know, we good black folk. We should be happy masters under this.
Labor writing in-house, nigga. Oh, okay.
And she says, but at what point do you look in the mirror and like you have integrity? And so what's this like saying? Fuck integrity. I can have integrity. It's all about the bag. Talking to one of our friends that you and I know, I'm not going to name drop, they were just like, well, you got a family and this, that, and that. I said, dude, you can have a fucking family, but as a man, you gotta look in that motherfucking mirror, dude, and be happy with what you see. All money ain't good money. There's a lot of motherfuckers and got a whole bunch of deals and may have taken them and sold their fucking soul. So you mean to tell me for the sake of making sure my family good, I gotta sell my soul, sell my asshole, get my knees dirty for the sake of the almighty dollar? And we always talk about mental health, mental health, mental health. Mentally, that shit can't be good for you. When you know, man, this shit is not right. But oh, I want the paper, I want the bag. So look at yourself as a man or a woman gets thrown out the window, as long as you're making a bag. Because if that's the case, you got every motherfucker on social media that be like, oh, the bag this, the bag that. All these motherfuckers want to say they are influencer. That's what they talk about. And half the shit, half these motherfuckers be up there talking, motherfucker, you ain't even lived on the earth long enough to come up with any type of assumption, any type of facts. When all you do is have you motherfuckers sell ass and twerk on fucking social media. They got fans on it. So I'm like, integrity and all that shit. Like for me, respect, I'm big on respect. I'm big on, I don't give a fuck what motherfuckers think about me because you're not paying my bills and what you eat don't make me shit. But it's all about how I view myself. And you and I have had conversations, off like when we out in public and we just shooting shits and all that shit. And, me and you had several different grievances. I'm like, I'm staying on what I believe. I don't give a fuck what mama believe, this person believe, this, that, and the other. It's all about what I believe and what I view that's going to make me move. And if it don't make me move, it's about what you throw in my face. I gotta be happy with what I do and what I ain't granted. Once again, I don't have kids, but I got something more important. Me. I gotta be accountable for me as a man and be happy at the end of the day of what I see as a man.
Yeah, but see, when you come from property, you know what I'm saying? You come from like the food stamps, you scrape by. I mean, that, you know what I'm saying? Having them times, and it's kind of give you like a picture of it. You have them days, dude, when your heat is not working and everybody got to stand up in front of the stove just to stay warm. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you got to light candles, you know what I'm saying, to see in different rooms. Going through that type of trauma as a kid makes you have a scarcity mindset. So all you after is money. I don't care how I need to get it. I need to get the money because I don't want to be broke no more. You know what I'm saying? And so their channel is not turned towards a direction that is proper because instead of being purpose-driven, they're being money-driven. And then money, like, and that's a Bible verse, like, the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money itself, but when you start loving money more than everything else, that's what it's going to root to evil. So now you don't care what you need to do. You sell your soul. You know what I'm saying? Because, exactly. So you know that those people haven't dealt with that trauma. They haven't dealt with this, and they anchor to it. They don't know why, like, hey, and them be the ones that have a hard time keeping a job, right? They're the ones that's, you know what I'm saying, constantly, oh, man, you know what I'm saying, I work 2 or 3 jobs, I still ain't got enough money. Like, why? What you doing? You crackhead? What are you doing? Why you ain't got enough money? And, of course, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, okay, something's wrong. Because either they don't have any financial literacy or they got a habit that just taking all their money. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. But they're anchored back there. So now since they're anchored back there, money is a scarcity thing. They don't know how to keep it. They just know how, like, hey, I need to not live that lifestyle like I used to live before.
I don't know, man. I stand, like I said, integrity, respect. I'm big on that shit. And like I said, person who we know, it's kind of like, hey, you got a family. And I was like, I don't give a fuck if you got a family and listen, motherfucker. How can you be a man or a woman and teach your little boy or girl, hey, fuck integrity. That's basically what you're saying. You got a family, you gotta do what you gotta do. Son of a nigga too. You know what I'm saying? You ain't killing them like them, just son of a nigga too. You know what I'm saying? Get your back.
And see that sometimes it falls in the story of options. Everybody they don't know they have options.
It's always
but they don't know them. They don't know those options.
You might not know them, but there's always options.
There are, but everybody don't know those options. You remember, you ever talk to somebody like, I tried everything. It's everything that they know. They don't know there's outside realm they can tap into some resources. They just haven't tapped into it yet.
I trust me. I totally get it. It's just like I said. What was that song? What people do for money. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, motherfuckers would do anything to be in the public eye for click. I mean, back in the day, it was about the fame and the money. Now it's like, well, I want the clicks. How many views I get? First motherfuckers be like the daytime of, man, I got a swinging followers. All I gotta do is upload this video and my followers don't do this. And half the motherfuckers that follow you really, they rock with you like that. They just like, okay. So if you come out with, if you got a million followers, if you come out with any type of harebrained scheme to get rich, you should be rich. You got a million followers.
Hey, but on the other side of that, there's people that are actually running legitimate businesses off of social media and having a huge following.
And
you know what I'm saying? They kind of have that recurring revenue.
But I'm talking about it's more dickheads and ass clowns doing pranks and other shit that, it is what it is, basically.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about what people do for money and all that shit. Let's get into it. Everybody, quite sure by now, saw the Hit 'em Up interview with Money Mike, aka Cat Williams, on Shannon Sharp's podcast. I'm gonna let you have it. What was your initial reaction? I'm quite sure people was DMing you and sending you snippets and shit.
Dude, it's definitely a lot to unpack. More importantly, because I actually kind of watched it twice. You know what I'm saying? I watched it once, and then I watched all the highlights afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Trying to catch up, but because there was a lot of stuff that was said, and that was like almost 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Of content. So, but here's like what I was getting out of it, because my reaction was like, oh my God, like he's really like about to go there. So he pretty much was like, he had a stick on his shoulder, and like he came there with it. You can tell that he had an agenda.
Yeah.
And that was his agenda. With some people. Now, the whole debate is whether he's telling the truth or not. You know what I'm saying? Because it's his word versus their word. Now, having receipts can actually back you up, right? And so some receipts is there. Like, it's searchable.
A lot.
Yeah, so you can like, oh, okay, he wasn't lying about that. Oh, okay. There were certain things he embellished. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you turning down $40 million for what, 3-5 times or something like that. He said, I'm like, come on now. Ain't nobody is turning down $40 million. Like, just because, like, and for his integrity, and here's the thing about his integrity. Just the same way he was vouching for his other role to say, hey, I can make this guy funny without him getting raped. The same way you could, you know what I'm saying, finesse that $40 million and say, hey, y'all want me to do something I want to do, but if we can finesse this and work this right properly, I do it, and I do it for 30. Oh, you know what I'm saying? He can negotiate the terms, but it seemed like, seems too like, and I know it was some times that he was hurting, like financially. He wasn't broke, but he was rich broke, right? So if you rich broke, you know what I'm saying, any deal come across your table. Only reason why, I'm not going to segue into this, but I'm just touching on it. The only reason why Taraji was in her position, because like, okay, I can get the money, but I need to do something. You know what I'm saying? I can't go broke because of my integrity, because she could have kept that integrity and not have no roles. And she had some really, really good roles that actually showed her range. But if she never took those roles because the money wasn't right, we'd have never experienced that. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of can't really vouch for Cat Williams when it comes to a lot of his statements. You know what I'm saying? And so overall, like I said, I think he intertwined a lot of the truth with the lies that make it seem like it's all one truth. But, you know what I'm saying, truth is actually going to come out. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to
I would say this. I think it was more truth than lies.
What's your percentage? What would you say?
I'm not really giving a percentage. I'm going to say this. He said some shit. Now, mind you, all the people he talked about, they never said he was lying. That's one thing. Don't say he was lying. Now, there's a comedian named Scruncho. When he was saying that Said took his shit, he said, I'm gonna kill Said. Some motherfucker taking my shit. He said he called Scruncho, and Scruncho it's a video where Scruncho is actually explaining to it with some folks. He says, Cat called me like I'm gonna kill Cedric. This motherfucker taking my shit.
Yeah, I seen that.
And Scruncho was like, well, nah, man, he might just admire you. He gonna put you on. Just calm down. Woo. And he was like, oh, you know, yeah, motherfucker, he taking your shit too. He go, what shit? The pop shit, when you doing all that breaking shit. And they show a video where Scruncho's doing this shit and Said doing the exact shit. And like somebody was like, once again, same people we talking to, I'm telling you about earlier, had a conversation. They was like, well, you know, it's just all comedy, you know? And I'm like, dude, back in the day, you didn't take no, if somebody would crack a joke or told a certain joke, back in the day, you didn't do that shit. In today's age, there's no honor, there's no code where I can do something, and guess what? You get a whole bunch of motherfuckers out that sound like Future or Lil Wayne saying the exact same thing. You didn't do that shit in the 90s. You didn't do that shit in the 80s. You didn't do that shit in the 70s. Now, did you have some motherfuckers that bite ass biters in all eras of life? But for the most part, you didn't take somebody's bit because they was taking a food out of a comic's mouth. So that shit right there, again, like he talked about the whole thing with Steve Harvey and Mark Curry. Mark Curry actually is a video of Mark Curry like, yes, he did this. He took my bit. And he like, well, ask Steve what to do. I'm the type of person I run up on you. And he said he ran up on Steve. He didn't elaborate on what he said or did. He said, holler at Steve. But once again, did he do a lot of name dropping? And I think that's the impact of this shit. He wasn't just saying stories. He name dropped. That's the thing. He fucking name dropped. Because even Gary Owens said, he been talking like, why Gary Owens didn't cross over and he white. And he was like, damn, he just dissed me. And he said he went on Twitter and asked the fans and shit. And they was like, no, he's just saying you didn't show your soul. And then Gary goes in and says, well, I kind of understand what Cat's saying. He said, off young, it's early in the game for me. He said, we're not going to kill me with this shit. I'm not going to name the person's name. Hey, he's going to do it to the next fucking man or girl. Or little boy or little girl. Like, hey, he's going to get y'all killed. That's what y'all worried about, getting killed or getting anti-slap from Hollywood.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
He said the dude pushed up on him. He kind of like implied, like, suck my dick, won't suck your dick. And he was like, whoa. Oh. And he turned the old boy down and shit. And once again, that's what Cat Williams kind of like allude to. So it's like this whole play to pay or pay to play or whatever in Hollywood, that shit is real. It's been going on for years. Now, Cat has always had this thing with Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish and shit. Tiffany Haddish is funny on film to me in person. Nah. Kevin Hart, I went to see him when he came here at the Palace. And I saw him at the Palace, but he was funnier in the Palace. Saw him at Little Caesars. And I was like, I looked at the crowd, I'm like, damn, there's a whole bunch of white people. And I was like, oh, he really crossed? That's what I knew. He like, yo, he crossed over. And granted, Kevin Hart always talk about his family. He ain't mad at that shit. Right? I'm like, okay, a couple of jokes that was funny, but Kevin ain't that funny. And that's just my opinion. Kevin Hart has homies. I see him do some serious. Lately, he's been doing a lot of serious roles. So I'm like, oh shit, he has range. He's just not, a comic. So I'm never gonna knock his hustle or nothing like that. But he's just not one of my favorite comedians. You know what I'm saying? People may say, oh no, Kevin Hart is that deal. Okay, he had a good run where he was the black comic. And I'm thinking like, you have a lot of comedians that's funny. Why always gotta be that one black comic for the guys or the one black comic for the ladies? You got it's a whole bunch of funny black comics. Whether it be male or female, why gotta be that one?
Yeah, I mean, everybody got their favorite. That's the whole thing about it. It's like anybody who was a big time fan of hip hop back in the 2000s was a Jay-Z fan. If you was in the 90s, you was a Tupac fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, it was a bandwagon. You just jumped on it, so you didn't really recognize a lot of the other players, other rappers, because you was biased. And I think that's what everybody is. Some people are biased. It's like, it's all about Tiffany Haddish. Like, I don't think she's funny. Like, nothing she's in, you know what I'm saying? She just got a filthy mouth. And a lot of the other ones do. It's maybe a few women in general that is funny. You know what I'm saying? But there are some favorites, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can be a little bit biased because I have my own favorites. Like, Kevin Hart is one of my favorites. Like, I would, you know what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle is one of my favorites. Like, you know, there's different ones. Like, I don't mind paying my money. Mike Epps, you know what I'm saying? I'll pay my money to see that all day long. I would, you know, but there's some I'm like, oh, no, I don't really care for. The Tracy Morgan's, you know what I'm saying? Tracy Morgan, I don't even know how she got as far as he got, but somebody think he's funny, right? That's the only way you can get up there. Somebody got to think that you entertaining enough or funny enough to put you on. Else you'll pass out, you'll fade out. Looks like a lot of the other ones. You know what I'm saying? And then some people get good at like portraying an image, being a pretender or fake. You know what I'm saying? So they're not really funny, but they just know how to say funny stuff. Like, to me, Seinfeld is not funny. He just know how to say funny stuff.
I mean, but Jimmy, you gotta think about it too. I hate to throw the race card in there, but I know a lot of black people that do like Seinfeld. He does not say anything where it's kind of relatable to me. So I'm like, I never watched Seinfeld. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, that's not my type of comedian. You know, I like the filthy, dirty mouth ass comedian. No, I done laughed at comedians that didn't cuss. You know what I'm saying? If shit's funny, it's funny. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But once again, it's an acquired taste. You know what I'm saying? It's all about your personal preference. He touched on shit about Mark. And I got into a huge conversation with somebody else. Like, well, you know, don't nothing wrong with a man wearing a dress. I'm like, dude, that's getting tired. I'm getting tired of seeing our brothers in dresses. Sick and tired. Like, okay, you done seen it. Like, I remember when Dave Chappelle was in the interview with Oprah. And he was like, he did Blue Streak with Mark. Dress a woman, and, you know, still Mark, but he like, I wear a dress, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, you being difficult. And another dude came in, oh, Dave, come on. He was like, no, he's like, man. But more and more, they kept trying to push me. He was like, that made my mind like, oh, significance about me wearing this fucking dress. Like, so he said the motherfucker came back 10 minutes later with a script. He didn't have him wearing a dress. He like, but wait a minute. How did you with this script up that quick? It's just like, if you had your original script was for me to be in a dress, it's a whole bunch of dialogue and all that shit kind of like link up with that. Now you got another script. That means that a script for the motherfuckers want to get You want to be a part of this? I got to speak for the motherfuckers like, look, fuck, I got too much integrity. I got kids. I don't want my son or daughter saying me no fucking dress. I already been for you. And most of these motherfuckers
But
want to go for that dress.
But to be honest with you, T, that ain't nothing unusual. That's something that's very, very common. You think in the music industry, it's people that be on albums and they just take their whole verse off. Like, you know what I'm saying? They change things, like, okay, we're not going that direction. People make whole albums.
We ain't talking about that. We talking about the image of a black man in a fucking dress.
Okay, so...
I don't fuck with it. Oh, man, you know what? I'm going to sound sweet. I'm going to take his ass off. You know, fuck me. I don't want him. He outshining me. Fuck that shit. This shit happens all the time. Image. They send another black man in a dress. You're tired of saying that shit. It's not the gay. That's gay. Just put a plethora of dudes out there that are wearing dresses. They wearing dresses. You know what I'm saying? And remember, in an interview, he says, he name drops Brandon T. Jackson. He goes, you know, I ain't gonna get Brandon T. Jackson. Brandon T. Jackson does an interview. I actually posted it on Instagram. He says, can't remember what saying, oh, they need to wear a dress, or they don't do this with the dress. He said he was like 22, 23 when he did Big Mama's house. And he got a nice little role going on, Brandon T. Jackson. He did, what was that, Lottery with Bow Wow. He did the Roll Bounce with Bow Wow. He did a couple other movies, so he was kind of like, you know, he was going to be the next big thing. Okay. He said that when he did that, he said, it was, come on, you listen to a lot of his interviews. It's crazy because I remember he did a show at the Punchline. This is like 2018, 2019. I get there early. So it's the people in the Punchline walking around, the workers setting up stuff. I'm in there, I'm chilling. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, I'm in the Punchline. I'm like, yeah, I want to see him perform and shit. Because at that point, I didn't know he did stand up. You know what I'm saying? I just thought he was like a stage, you know, a theater actor and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Go to the movies, you see him. He walks in, and I'm like, I mean, a little dude, like, I'm like, thinking he's like 6'1", 6'2", something like that. I'm like, I'm a little dude, and he's free. You know what I'm saying? So we just talking about health. So he plugged me into this lady to do where I get my herbs, my purple sea moss, and all this shit. He's like, here, talk to this lady, she'll look out for you. And she did, still look for her. So I go, hey man, good luck. I hear you gonna do, this time he was talking about doing Beverly Hills Cop 4. Here you supposed to be on there with Eddie Murphy. Good luck, you know what I'm saying? And he go, nah man, I ain't part of that shit, man, fuck that. He was like, man, like, basically he was kind of like, fuck Hollywood. He said he ain't gonna be a part of it. He was like, at that time, he was like, they not doing Beverly Hills Cop 4. He's like, man, that's all. Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't a part of that. And they ain't gonna do it. He goes, most of your major entertainers, basically was like, yeah, he ain't trying no names and nothing like that. But it's like, pretty much like, they want to emasculate you, they, you know, they some of their souls, and this, that, and the other. And, you know, show they ain't cap and nothing like that. Man, him took that picture. So I ain't cap, I don't do that shit for internets and clicks, likes, and views. That's me, that's him. So he, I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, man. He was like, the worst thing I did was wear a dress. He was like, ain't that right sense. And then, of course, now you see him, he does a lot of the spiritual shit. Like, even like some of his jokes are like, you know, they don't have a, because he's talking about God this, the Most High, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the other. And I'm not knocking at his shit. But it's just like, whatever happened to him, it was just like, I do my own, I make my own movies, I finance my own shit, I got my team, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So it's something there. I mean, it's something there. I mean, motherfuckers going crazy. Remember Martin went crazy and shit for a brief spell? So he ain't the only one. But I don't know what's the fascination of wanting our, why we gotta wear a dress.
It's the powers that be. You know what I'm saying? They want to see that type of entertainment. They calling shots. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at numbers and they feel like, okay, we need to make out something unique that's going to stand out, and that's something that's kind of unusual that stands out. You know what I'm saying? So they want that.
At what point in time do you be like, okay, Martin done did it, Jamie done did it, he done did it. It's been done. Enough, like Dave Chappelle said, enough is enough. It done been, what's it, Brokeback Mountain? What is your fantasy? And it's like, I look at it like Buck Breaker. You know what I'm saying? The shit they used to do, they get the strongest slave and shit. Or like, you the most masculine, strongest one. Okay, I'm gonna do this in front of you, in front of all these motherfuckers, and they all can fucking lie. That's what I look at when I see that shit. Once again, all money ain't fucking good money. And you gotta do this to get this role. Fuck, how much I'm getting? Okay. So I'm like, a lot of people lack integrity and shit. But the funny thing about it is, you had these motherfuckers be behind the scenes doing that whole shit. I'll be the first ones want to kick you, be like, yeah, integrity and this, that, and the other. But behind the scenes, you sucking a dick. It's like, it's kind of like a motherfucker trying to preach to me. But you at the strip club or got a little side chick, but you want to be married. It's kind of like I said, all this kind of like ties in. The TDJs, the Epstein, all this shit. Check on what he was saying. But it's like he said, for TD Jakes is the Puff. You at his party. Everybody know what goes down at Puff party. Why are you with him? And I get it. You his spiritual advisor. That motherfucker through your church. You don't go to his house. It's FaceTime. Why are you at his fucking party?
Yeah.
Take that. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you at his party. I can't take you serious. Can't.
Yeah, I agree with that. The thing is when it comes to celebrity, there is a celebrity bias that they kind of hold with each other, because you being famous, I don't want your crowd that's following you to hate me if I don't do what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? There's an underlying code that's not being verbally said, but you can kind of sense that. You can kind of understand that everybody's at this stature, and like, hey, they don't give these invitations out to nobody. You got to be a somebody to go to a P. Diddy party. Like that's pretty much the glamour that I know about when it comes to Hollywood and how they do things. So I think we're more so in the background, just watching and kind of being critical of what's really going on, because like, I don't know if TD was doing anything bad there. I don't know what happened. It's all speculation. The problem is the fact that he is a man of the cloth, and he can be in certain places, and that's not a place for him.
Yeah. It's kind of like Tyler Perry gets this motherfucker $1 million, right? Tyler Perry ain't no pastor, he ain't been ordained on it. This motherfucker put his hands on that motherfucker, said a couple of words to TJ, it's like, what is this? Medea goes to church. The fuck is this? What the fuck is this? I can't take you motherfuckers serious, man. Like, really? What? Like I said, everybody kneeling ain't fucking praying. And, you know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers will do anything for a quick buck.
I feel bad for the church stigma that they have when it comes to that, because there are some crooked people that's in leadership positions, and it makes the whole brand, it makes the whole church, and it makes the whole religious systems seem fault. You know what I'm saying? It's faulty. So like, you don't really trust it, because of the few bad apples that's on the whole tree, the whole tree is rotten. You know what I'm saying? So that's my problem with that. Even though if people can really open up their eyes and realize that these are human beings, okay? They're not some spiritual gods that's, floating in the air. Like, they're human. They got faults. They're going to trip up. They're going to stumble. They're going to have sin. Like, and we expect so much out of them, which they not there. And
Yeah,
so
she is.
for them to fake an image, like they won't be themselves. What's your question?
Were you surprised by any of the names? And if so, what name shocked you the most that he dropped? And you was like, whoa.
I'm gonna tell you this, and this is the one statement that floored me. Honestly, a lot of stuff he said. I can kind of like I see him taking jabs, different one. Okay. That brother said, "Hey, when I come into a building that Kevin Hart in, he leaves. He leaves? Yeah, he leaves. You know what I'm saying? You never for 25 years, you never seen us in the same building together. Oh yeah, why not? Because he knows that I'm the one. You the one? Like, oh, so since you the real one, he gotta leave when you show up in the building. Like, nah, Cat, that doesn't make sense. Now I feel like you just really like, you know, how would you say it? You're talking a lot of smack, but can't really back it up. It's more like, you know what I'm saying? You saying a lot of stuff. It sounds good, but bro, come on now.
Listen, let me tell you this. That shit what he said. When you go back on social media, there's a lot of celebrities, dude, that's backing him the fuck up.
Yeah, they are.
So my opinion is this. From what everybody gathered, Keith Fiddler is a real generous person. That's one thing everybody has said. He's very generous across the board. Like, he was supposed to get a walk of fame. He said no. He paid $75,000 for something that he get a walk of fame. Boosie said when he got in jail, he didn't have a bag. Cat had a bag. Some lady said she was a model. Cat was supposed to host the BET Award. I forgot who ended up hosting it. But he ended up paying the people who they kept that were supposed to be for him. Like, hey, I'm not doing it. Here's for the money. It's a lot of comedians that came out and said, what he's saying ain't no lie. These motherfuckers who y'all like him have stolen material. Once again, if a motherfucker say some shit about me, and it ain't true, ain't nobody came out and said it ain't true. Motherfuckers came out and said, well, silly. Motherfuckers blah, 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 like clearing it up. But it's like, once again, you still ain't saying. He's telling, okay, well,
so you feel like not addressing it is validating his statements? I don't think that's true.
Let me ask you this. If I say, Ray, you're a rapist, and I said, now all these allegations and shit, what you gonna do? You gonna let it pass? And so I get a couple people now that's like, hey, no, Ray, Dad, do some all-brand stuff. Yeah, gee, I kind of see. You ain't gonna let it ride?
Yeah, I probably would. I probably
bullshit, right? Bullshit. Anyway, there's no excuse. Bullshit. No, you're gonna defend yourself. One, you ain't gonna want your wife to hear that shit. You ain't want your wife to hear that shit. You ain't borderline. You got daughters. You gonna defend that shit because guess what? They gotta hear that shit. So you're gonna hear this like, man, fuck T, fuck this motherfucker saying, look, I got blah 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 blah. And you gonna come up with receipts, and you gonna guess what? You gonna make me look like the fucking fool. Now, you ain't got shit to lose. You ain't got that. You ain't got the kids. You ain't got the wife. You don't give a fuck.
Let me help you out, bro. Let me help you out. I was in agreement with you. You ran it off left for no reason. I'm like, yeah, I probably would say something, and you just ran it off. Like, hey, did you hear what I said? Listen to what I'm saying, so you can kind of understand where you need to go. Yeah, something's going on. Cause I'm like, God, and I was gonna let y'all like, shut. And I was thinking about defending myself then. Should I defend this or should I not? Like right there, right in the not saying something, not saying like, yeah, I'm agreeing with you. You're like, no, nigga, you can't, no, nigga. I'm like, did this nigga even hear me? Like, did he? Like, golly, boy, he got a little triggered there. Like, but I understand what you're saying. So here's the other side of that. And this is the part I want to explain to you. Everybody don't care. Like, I care. But when you get up to a certain place, like, think about, okay, not to get off subject, but I'm just going to use it as an example. Like Drake. you see a lot of stuff that people saying about it. People got him on albums. He's not responding to everything somebody say. Even the women, that, you know, it's a lot of stuff that people say, but he like, okay, miss me. Like, you know, he's not responding. So some things he chooses to address or respond to, and that's his prerogative. But some people, that's the way they are. Like, if right now, getting super famous in your life and you address every negative comment that somebody said about you, you know what I'm saying? It's like, for what? What are you doing that for? What are you trying to protect? Like, either they know you or they don't know you. If they don't know you, what you got to prove? So right now, if a friend of mine who don't know you tell me some stuff about you, like, you don't have no credibility because, like, I know T. You don't know him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what you're saying. Like, I know him, so miss me with that. Tell that to somebody else. But for somebody who don't know T, telling me about T, and they don't know T, but they telling me stuff about, I can probably believe them. Like, oh, really? I didn't know T was like that. Oh, for real? And now that person builds some rapport with me now. And the venom is on you. So that's pretty much what I'm saying. There's another side to it that some people like choose to, like, you know what? I'm address this, like, you know, some people went on video, Cedric went on video addressing it. You know what I'm saying?
Freestyle.
Yeah. And then you see the freestyle, you know what I'm saying? So some people have their response. You know what I'm saying? So it just I feel like it kind of depends because some people, sometimes I feel like, because how comedians do it, they want to put that into their bit. Like, oh, I got some jokes for that. I got some jokes. Huh?
Timmy Hirsch did.
Yes, okay.
She did today or last night. She did it in one of her bits. But she was just like, hey, he was right. I wasn't at this joke. I couldn't do the black, the white comedy club. They wouldn't let me in. I did the black. You know what I'm saying? I did blah, blah, blah. And she was like, Kevin Hart looked like, Cat Williams looked like Charleston White. You know what I'm saying? She said that shit.
Yeah. So that's what I feel like majority of them are doing. And some people, like I said, I've seen some people writing receipts for Cat Williams statements, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen that happen. I've seen the comments. I've seen the giveaways, you know what I'm saying, the money being given out, helping out different ones with Boosie and whatnot. I've seen all that. And so I have mixed feelings about it. And the reason why I got mixed feelings about it because I feel like he's made some true statements, but his, you know what I'm saying, that aggressive, I'm trying to pinpoint it, how can I call it? That aggressive, like, I need to come at you. It's something about that made me feel like, oh, wait a minute, it's something else. It's something else, like you've been holding something in your heart for so long. And you just wait for the opportunity to kind of like get it all out.
Yeah, you know me, I'm all for it. If you hold shit in for a long time does nothing for you. Because after a while, it's going to come out. And it may come out the way you want it to. So let it out. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, in your opinion, because he moves bridges. Oh, he's the Picture Blaze. Do you think they're now when he feel like he's black boy? He is black boy. That's what he said. Do you think they're really going to stick it to his ass now?
I think no. I feel like they're going to try to win him. I think they're going to try to play the good old boys and try. Come on, Cat. Come on in with us, man. You don't think so?
I think they might do that shit.
And in front of the camera.
Oh, everybody, but he's saying, we probably said, we gonna get this nigga. We gonna get this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because Faison Love done said something. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't even know how Trick he got in there, but he said, I'm not no comedian. I'm a street nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. Michael Blackson said something. Luda said something. Trilly said something. Kevin really didn't say anything. He was like, he said, but he was like, oh, well, why y'all on my page? I'm plugging in my Netflix.
Right. Yeah, he did play. So all he did was he caught traffic from the waves.
Yeah, so I get it. He talked about Kanye. He talked about Kim. He talked about Puff. He talked about Brandon. I mean, he talked about a lot of Harvey Weinstein and all that shit. He talking about a lot of motherfuckers. And the thing about it is one thing about talking about people and not dropping no names, but there's another when you talking about people and you dropping names. That shit stings. That stings a lot. Because
I'm that type of person. Like his personality, the way, because I'm an alpha. So alpha males, when you cross them, you wrong them in some type of way where trust was built, and you cut that. It's something about us, our counter. Like, you know what I'm saying? We coming back twice as hard. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that you feel everything we got. So I can understand his positioning, and that's why I feel like it's something happened in the past that he's bleeding from. That
I mean, I tell motherfuckers all the time, I'm a good friend, I'm a better enemy. Because I'm petty as shit. I'm petty. I'm sorry. I'm very, look.
Okay.
I said all the time, like, man, like, even when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? I felt motherfuckers wrong me or did this. I was like, I'm gonna remember all this shit. Because when I get older, when I can defend myself or I'm at a certain level financially that I can throw this shit, all my success, you're gonna get it tenfold. And I don't feel no regrets. Because I feel like, shit, you ain't had no regrets when you said or did what you did to me. So it's even, man. We even, motherfuckers. Now, we shake hands and either walk on the same sides of the street or one of us will cross over. Don't matter. That's how I feel.
And so I'm more, you say you're more petty. I'm more of a counter puncher. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can take some licks, but, you know what I'm saying, after a while, like, I'm more, how you hit me is how I'm going to hit you. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm more of that counter guy. Like, I'm not going to be, I'm never the first puncher. I'm never going to throw the first punch. I'm feeding off your energy. Whatever you give me, okay, that's what I'm giving you back. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to give you some inside information. That was some one of my sessions with, you know what I'm saying, dealing with my wife. Is like, you know, hey, she's like, hey, you know, she always, and of course, you always do that tit for tat thing. Now, and that's a bad habit of mine, and I own that. I know that I do that. But hey,
you know, just being petty, dude. Yeah. Follow what you want, that's being petty.
Listen, but I call it this. I said, well, all you gotta do is stop hitting me and I won't catch you. You know what I'm saying? Don't swing first and I won't swing back. That's all it is to it. Period. If you don't want that done to you, guess what? This guy don't want it done to him either. Like, treat me how you want to be treated.
So motherfucker, that's, if you don't want to get shit on, then don't try to piss on me.
Okay.
All right.
That's
sorry, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get shit on, don't try to piss on me. But, you know...
Hey, let's go back, because I wrote something down about Cedric, you know what I'm saying, and the statement he made about him stealing his joke. Now, there is a code with the, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to how they conduct their bids, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, the jokes is exclusive because they need to be private so no one else heard them, so they can be fresh. People can laugh at them. People laugh at fresh stuff. You can't repeat the same joke and it be funny again. You know what I'm saying? So, I understand a little bit of his beef behind that. I was trying to view, and I looked at both videos, you know what I'm saying, because they did a split screen, somebody did a split screen, and it was like the same theatrics, but it was a different joke. It was a different joke.
I didn't like, this motherfucker.
It was the same theatrics, but a different joke.
What show was that? My guy, he took something from a show where he was like, delicious. I thought the dude delicious when he did that with Kings of Comedy. And he got that from this show. And I'm like, like I just saw that dude, and he took the whole bit. I'm like, this particular show came out in 1987, 89. Those Kings of Comedy in the 90s, right? King's Comedy in the 90s, sometime in the 90s.
Yeah.
He took that whole bit. And then he spent it to a joke.
Wow, okay.
Like, and again, some comics do this shit. They'll go to a market, a comedy place, where if you like an up and coming comic and you know, motherfuckers don't really know you, you make a little buzz, you know what I'm saying? And they write down your shit like, oh, that shit funny, I can use that. They don't know this motherfucker. Mama said, and motherfucker be like, oh, I said it first. I'm the bigger name. So that's probably how Cat probably felt. Like, this motherfucker came to my show. I said a joke. He's the bigger name. I'm coming up. He goes out and said, who you think they gonna believe? And with this age now of everybody recording shit and this, that, and the other, news travel fast. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know what's the breakdown between him and Steve Harvey, because I do remember prior to him and Steve doing that show here in Detroit, he was on the Steve Harvey moved this show out of.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool at one time. Before, and I don't know if you remember how that beef transpired, because it was supposed to be like a versus battle.
Steve said he wasn't good.
Right. So that's pretty much why. Because like, hey, like I'm putting up a battle and you don't want to participate with me. That's what the beef was really about.
He called Steve Harvey, it's a bitch. This motherfucker got up here and talk about this lady in her hair or dress. And this bitch ass, I'm a little nigga, I fight dirty, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker Steve Harvey, you know. He went in, and that Monday, Steve on the radio show was like, yeah, I ain't fucking with him and this, that, and the other. He kind of like trying to cat under the bus. Like, I ain't fucking with him, fuck him. I told him I signed up for that, but my thing is, she told you this is what it was. Because remember, I had promoted it was a versus heavyweight fight. So my thing is, if this is how he's promoting it, here versus, that means we're going against each other.
Right.
I signed up for it. Well, I signed up for it, really.
Right. All he did was kind of piggyback off of publicity, because he understood free marketing. The same way when 50 Cent say, hey, I'm about to come on the album same day Kanye come on the album. Yeah. Let's versus, see who make the most sales. No, this is publicity, because now you get more people talking about it, and it's going to travel a lot more than just a commercial or just a little billboard or some type of broadcast. So that's all that was.
I mean, I look at he had a number of good things to say about Bernie. I mean, he talked about the whole. I mean, which Samuel L. Jackson talked about how Steve tried to play Bernie. A couple of comedians that came out and said that Steve played Bernie behind the scenes. He was jealous of him. You know what I'm saying? I never. Steve Harvey is funny at times. He's not one of my favorite comedians. And since he done stepped away from it, I don't really care for him, because he's like now trying to portray himself as this messiah of how real men should be. And he's like trying to be a guru when you come out of a relationship. I'm like, motherfucker, okay, you are a guru. You've been married 3 fucking times. And like he said about every wife, she made me into the man I was supposed to be. He said that to this wife, that wife, and now this wife. And the wife you got now was your side chick. But every woman, because you shitting on a black man, ate that shit up. No man, newsflash, no man want a woman to think like a man. But if that's the case, you're right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, but I'm not. So
yeah,
I'm like,
I think he's more of a better host than anything. Hosting this is good because he's very charismatic and he's very witty. And anytime you can do that and just announce stuff, you can be good at, you know what I'm saying, at hosting. You know what I'm saying? Who was that? Ryan Seacrest. Like, I don't even know how he got his star before Will Smith, but it was amazing that it even happened. Like, dude, he just came out and he got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame before Will Smith do. And Will Smith been in this thing since he was like 15.
Teenager.
And Ryan Seacrest, he just like a few years at American Idol when he just in there. Like, really? That's all it took? And so you know, and so I like the way Cal was talking about the gatekeepers because that is a true thing. There's some people that's keeping the gate. He talked about Kevin, and that's the other thing. Going back to your question you asked me about who I was shocked, and the other statement about Kevin about him being a plug, an industry plug. So it's like, so he's like, because there's nobody. He said nobody in history came to Hollywood and got their own sitcom, their own movie, and all that for their first year of being there. And that's some facts because you do work your way up. You do kind of like, say, okay, you got straight from the bottom, get them commercials.
He said he was doing all this stuff on the East Coast. And he said he came to Hollywood and it was like that.
Yeah.
He said, what did you do to get it? They were like, what did you do to get that? And it's like, yeah, I mean, what did you do?
And there's no telling, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure everybody got something that they had to do to make it over the top. And just like you talked about earlier.
So do you feel like everybody in some way compromise themselves? And I believe you do. In every aspect of life, you compromise yourself. Whether it's work, relationship, marriage, success.
I'm a person myself, like, just my regular 9 to 5, dude. I be walking everywhere half dead, like, okay, sick and all, because I know, okay, like I can still work. You know what I'm saying? You just, as a Detroiter, you just, you know what I'm saying, punch through. You know what I'm saying? We don't know because when I was a kid, 16 inches of snow meant nothing. School was still in session. You had to walk to school. Now, like, 3 inches, like, we got to shut everything down. We don't want the kids, you know what I'm saying? Because, God forbid, the snow getting in their shoes or something like that. Like, really? Like, they getting drove to school now. You know what I'm saying? And so it's beyond me. So I know that that's a whole nother rant or a whole other podcast. So I'm stay on subject. So when it comes to Kevin Hart, I kind of feel like somebody who's in a power position plugged him in. I don't know who that person is, but I'm pretty sure Kevin can vouch for it. And I feel like everybody in the street had their plug. Somebody put them under their wing and said, "No, I need you." You know what I'm saying? Because I know that. Who's your boy? I forgot his name. Dave Chappelle had a lot of people under his wings, right? Like, hey, let me put you on my wing. Let me show you this. Let me show you the rope.
Chris Rock is his boy.
Who's that?
Chris Rock Martin. I know them are his boys right there.
Yeah. So I know that when it comes down to it, like, you just had to have the right plug. Being at the right place at the right time makes a difference as well. And then that skill and talent all have to meet up. Because if you bomb, that's it. And see, the thing is, I do know about Cat that he bombed a few times. Like, he bombed here in the D. He bombed, I forgot what special he did. He did a special, and I feel like, dude, you ain't funny now. Like, you just talking. You just saying a lot of stuff, but I'm looking for the punchline, and you fussing about the government and some other stuff.
I came to one of his shows before. I seen Cat Williams. Like I said, funny. If I name my favorite comedians and whatnot, it'll be Richard Pryor, Eddie, B-Mac, Chappelle, Martin, and then Capone and Cat Williams. It would be like my subs, them two. Capone and Cat Williams. Okay. But them are my comedians that I rock with. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we grew up off Eddie Murphy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and Martin and Chris Rock are Eddie Murphy babies. And Eddie Murphy is a fucking Richard Pryor baby. And Richard Pryor is a Rampage baby.
I was about to say Bill Cosby. I thought Bill Cosby was on his wing. I mean, he was on the Bill Cosby wing for a minute.
Who, Eddie?
No, Richard Pryor.
No, Richard was a Red Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, but, I mean, It's interesting.
When it comes to comedians in general, it's like music. It's a genre thing. Like, you got to know what your taste is and know that, hey, that's my guy that makes me laugh, regardless of what it is. Because some people are storytellers. More people are more punchline comedians. Some people like to cap on other people.
Some make you think, like a Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. And like Trevor Noah, like, you really have to follow his story to the end, because you're not gonna laugh until the end, because he got a long story, because he frames it up, a lot of detail, and then you get it at the end. Like, oh, okay, now I see why you went the long way around, but you gotta stay with him. So my wife, she don't think he's funny because she's looking for them in the middle funnies, and she don't get it from him. So it's like, you watch Trevor Noah, somebody else make you think too. What is that? They're not. I think they're white though. I forgot who it is. I do, and of course I like the white ones too. Like Bill Burr is my man. You know what I'm saying? There's different ones that I really truly like. They come in town, I'm paying for it. If I can help, if they got a special on, I'm gonna make sure I watch it within that week. So you know what I'm saying? I try to stay on top of my content because that's the stuff that I like. That's the stuff that entertain me. I think we need to go and wrap it up, team.
All right. What's your closest statements on all this shit? From, you know what I'm saying, from Sterling, Upton to the cat.
And I can, okay, yeah, I can do that. Epstein, I feel like this is a lesson to all those people who feel like they can do things behind closed doors and nobody never know. We're going to take this to the grave because something like this might happen and your name might be on the list. Okay, that's one thing. When it comes to Cat, I want to hold this very, very tightly. Don't sell your soul for money. Like, integrity is very important. And I think that's the point that Cat was really trying to put a lot of emphasis on, that he would not sell his soul just to make some more money. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the preference, and that's his positioning, even though he was taking shots, but that was his positioning. And I encourage a lot of people to say, hey, and if you hold your integrity, you're going to be the villain. Know that. And so I understand why he has that position, because you're not in the buddy system. You're not doing what everybody else is doing. So you're going to be an outcast. You're not going to be in the crowd. So if that's your stance, please, black men, stand firm on what you believe and hold your integrity.
I'm going to end it with this Upton dealing with his shit. I really don't think nothing's going to surprise us. I really think the bullshit the shit that we want to hear, the meat and potatoes, probably is not going to get aired. That's just my opinion. I think the people who saw it before it got released and they picked at it, and they gonna say a lot of people, they may throw it. Somebody may have to be a sacrificial lamb. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see if it's a person of color or something like that. I feel all the motherfuckers should pay. That's just me. When you do dirt shit like that, I don't give a fuck who you are, black, white, green, purple, whatever. The whole Cat Williams thing, very entertaining. And some people will say, conspiracy theorists, the Upton thing came out, Cat Williams came out, it's a diversion. We now everybody talking about Cat Williams. That could be it. To piggyback on what you said, I stand on that shit. Respect, integrity. Fuck the money. You can't take it with you. Yeah, you could trick off and buy and spend and treat yourself right or your family and all that shit. But in the age of mental health, if you compromise yourself by doing shit that you know is wrong for the almighty dollar, to me, it's an early way to the grave. And that's why you got motherfuckers trying to numb themselves up by taking drugs or alcohol or even having sex. Because they know what they're doing is wrong. So if it's anything what we have said to anybody, male or female, little boy, little girl, whoever's watching this, stand on that shit. Integrity. Value yourself over the fucking mighty dollar. Stand on principles. You know what I'm saying? Stand for something and don't fall for the bullshit. That's all I'm gonna say on that. We got some interesting stuff that's coming. Coming soon. Me and my brother are really gonna be hammering in black businesses. So don't be surprised if we pop up at one of your favorite black establishments. So, for my homeboy, Ray.